Super Mario World is, in my opinion, the peak of 2D Mario. I know, that's a hot take, right? I mean, it gave us the dolphin, how could it not be the best game? All jokes aside, Super Mario World would give us Yoshi the dinosaur. Yoshi would go on to star in his own spin-off series, but even within the Mario franchise exclusively, he would end up being quite an asset, eating enemies, spraying juice, and being happier than anything else in this cold world. Easy S tier in my eyes, and a big reason why people even remember this game. Alright, let's get to the enemies. We start with none other than the amazing Flying Hammer Brother, which I personally like. There are multiple ways to attack this guy, and I think he has a movement pattern distinct enough to memorize and counter. A tier, Blarg. Alright, this guy's adorable. Easy S tier, he's a good boy. Blurp, they're cheeps, but they're not. Why do they even make a different species for this? C tier, Bony Beetle. He's a dry bones equivalent of a buzzy beetle. Easy A tier, I'm easy to please. You know, the enemies so far are pretty solid, and we even have a Boo Snake. They were just kind of popping off with this game. Of course, I'm giving that an A. I'm giving Pidgebill a C. They're basically just a clone of the Bill, which is kind of lazy, but I kind of like the idea of real-world enemies, to be fair. Charge and Chucks are a top-notch enemy, in my opinion. An all-time classic, and I think it's funny they made this sports enemy. It's almost like a parody of Americans. A tier. I'm putting the Climbing Koopa in S solely for the fact that their sprites are genuinely hilarious to me. I'm putting the Dino Rhino in B tier, and partially that's because of the rhyme, and actually it's just because of the rhyme. Dino Torch has no pun. C tier, Eerie. Look at these goofy ass little guys, little Olimar looking eyes right here. B tier, Fish and Boo. How is he holding a flame on a string? That sort of sorcery alone deserves an A tier, but then we got this thumb guy. The fishing Lagadoo just don't have that same charm. They're too simple for my fancy tastes. And also, I remember them teasing me as a kid. Fuzzy.
Put him in Mario Kart, Nintendo. Ow. That actually kind of hurt.
I'm putting them in S tier, not because of Mario World though, mainly due to the fact that I think they are hysterical in Paper Mario. Now look at this. This might be the most simple enemy design ever. It's a ball of fire with eyes. C tier. Jumping Piranha Plant and the Jumping Fire Piranha Plant, apparently there's a difference, will both go in A. I'm putting the Magic Koopa, or Kamek as the kids these days call them, in S. They are a classic enemy and a good idea to have a Wizard Koopa. And look at that, they shoot PlayStation buttons. Not quite as noteworthy, but almost as prevalent, believe it or not, in many different forms, are the Mecha Koopa. I'm not a big fan of these personally. I feel like the idea is good, but the design is just creepy. I think B tier is fair. Monty Mole, he's adorable, and there better exist plushies of him or else Nintendo will be sued for emotional damages. I think S tier is also fair for the little guy. Pair of Bob-Ombs. I'm a sucker for a good umbrella. A tier. Porcupuffer, basically a cheap that are a bit more aggressive and chase you. I'll be nice and give them a B tier. Rex. How do I describe these? They're like an evil Yoshi that never appeared again. These enemies require not one, but 2 jumps to kill it. Mario was evolving at this time, all right? B tier. Rip Van Fish. Easy A tier because of the name. We have the Spike Top, a Buzzy Beetle with a spike. What else do you want me to say? Do you want me to talk about what they do in the game or something? Gross. Well, they're undefeatable without special power-ups. Make me want to say C tier. All right, Sumo Brother. I'm giving an A tier. They poop out thunderbolts. I mean, what else do you want out of a Mario enemy? You have too high of standards. Super Koopas. They're Koopas, but super. They fly. A. Super's a good enemy. They hang out on the ceiling, wait for you to approach their path, and then they swoop. They're a decent mix between easy to kill, but actually challenging at the same time. I'll give them an A tier. Thwimp, a small thwomp. That's actually kind of funny. A tier. Torpedo Ted. I hate these guys. They move in such a way that makes it impossible to kill them. D tier. You can contact my lawyer if you disagree. Urchin. This is like the least creative enemy we've had so far. C. Finally, we end on one final S tier enemy, the Wiggler. I think this is one of the best Mario enemies of all time, despite people punching their walls when he was added to Mario Kart 7. In terms of bosses, there's not many new ones. This is because the Koopalings appear yet again. I mean, I could rank them harshly and have people try to kill me twice in one video. The only new boss we're ranking here is the Reznor, a fire-breathing rhino that sits in groups of 4s. It's sort of memorable, but design-wise is a bit boring and also got reused a few times in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, so I'm barely putting them in B tier.